Tristal MTG, Archfield Monk, and Jay Coper, all of whom are quite good at this game. Any of these, or maybe all of them, could finish in that top 6. Of course, the top 6 moving on to the bracket phase of the tournament. So, again, I think it's super exciting. It looks like we are actually off to start.
Yep, we are ready to go. Now, looking at what we have here at the start, looks like we have gold and an extra key, so an immediate treasury check for some people. We also have the return spell, so they don't even need to use that key if they bother to look, which it would be interesting if they miss it. But nope, we see that. There is some advantage to using the key instead of using return, which we see Archfield doing right now, and that is you could possibly set up an immediate gold grind.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a slight divergence in strategy here, Archfield, and looks like Aaron 2U2 both checking. Actually, they picked up gold, so they're going to pick up more keys, whereas Jay Coper just outsides out and doesn't use any key at all.
Yeah, it'll save him the cost of the key, but he loses the 20 seconds it takes to walk back in. Kind of a little bit of this, a little bit of that sort of situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm thinking maybe Jay Coper just realized that coming out, because sure, he saves the cost on the key, but again, that potential gold grind kind of goes away. So it looks like Archfield and Aaron are making their way to that treasury.
Yeah, that's actually Tristal. That is not me, but I appreciate you.
Sorry, Aaron. I meant to say Tristal. Yeah, oops.
All right, and I missed a couple of things there, but I did see the silver harp in the treasury. I think that was our big find.
Yeah, we've got a silver harp. We've got a dragon scale. I've got a bit of delay on mine. A bamboo pole, which I think is herbs.
And meanwhile, it looks like we started right next to coal, which has nothing. So that's a bit of a kind of a bust.
And a wing. So it was wings, a bamboo. Wings, herbs. That silver harp was the big pickup, and a dragon scale. And so nothing in coal. And it's off to the grind. We've got Archfield trying to face down a Magidrakey. Really nothing to fight so far.
Right, and our starting stats, 11 AP is decent enough. We can kill a few of the beginning enemies, but not much other than that. Tristal, unfortunately, finding a very nasty Droll Magi there that put him out real quick.
Yeah, and kind of surprised to see the monsters that are here. Like we've seen Magidrakes, none of the classic, slime or like a regular Drakey. It's all been slightly bigger stuff. There's a ghost for Archfield to take out.
All right, and Jay Coper did not use all of his money, partially because of that return spell. Just didn't max out keys, which could have given him an advantage there. But, I don't know. He could still get a copper sword. I think he'd have to sell the wings. Is he willing to walk all the way around for that?
It is quite a long walk. Meanwhile, Archfield did pick up level 2, got the outside spell with it, as well as a little bit of stat boost. Magic points, I think, was the best. I think he picked up 10 magic points there.
Nice. That does seem to be what Jay Coper is doing, selling some of the stuff he got. Copper Sword, even with 11 attack power, is still very good. Could sell. And selling the Dragon Scale, it's still... Nope, that's exactly enough that he needs. That must be what he's doing.
Yeah, and not a bad idea there. I mean, having that copper sword, that gives a little bit more attack power to be able to take things like this Scorpion that just took down Archfield Monk. With that extra attack power, you might be able to beat that damage race. Scorpion's giving excellent experience points at this level. Meanwhile, Tristal MTG taking out a Ghost is now 1 experience points away from level 2.
All right, and that'll be the thing. That what Jay Coper has done, he's invested a little bit more time and some effort, but that could pay off very quickly. And we see Archfield is going underneath Tantagel. We didn't see what this was before, but it looks like it is Mountain Cave?
Either Mountain or Erdrick's tablet. And I saw a walk to the right and a walk to the left and out. Oh, no, there's a metal scorpion in there. It's definitely the mountain, not the tablet.
Yeah, so that's enemy number 2 we've seen with Hurtmore. We've seen Droll Magis and now Metal Scorpions. So wonderful.
And they're all close to home. How great is that?
We see Archfield going out for the grind. Tristal's going out for the grind. Jay Coper is now, looks like he's going to attempt to dive this as well over here in the dark.
Yeah, so everybody's going to get a little peek. It's pretty much all the knowledge is going to be equal. The key difference being that copper sword for Jay Coper.
Yeah, the attack on the Droll Magi was a little surprising, but maybe he's just kind of feeling it out. We do see a small stat divergence here. I believe Jay Coper is on the Strength Agility build. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think Little J is Strength Agility, so that will cause some divergence in stats as we move on. The other two runners using the traditional Strength HP build, which in the late game will mean they will have higher strength and higher HP, whereas in the early game, those stats will be penalized just a little bit. For Jay Coper, it'll be strength and agility.
Right, and I have seen enough of Jay Coper specifically to know that he's not afraid of going after the Dragon Lord a little bit short of the ideal hit point amount. So I imagine this build fits right in with what he wants to do.
Yeah, and there have been a lot of seeds in this tournament where hit points, there's been a few where hit points was the limiting factor, but there's also been a lot where there were just tons and tons of extra hit points. So Jay Coper maybe taking a little gamble there and hoping for that. And as you said, he does have the not the tenacity, that's not the word I'm looking for, but definitely the fearlessness, if you will, to go after that Dragon Lord maybe at 96, maybe at 95, if the rest of the stats are looking good.
And we saw Archfield buying some torches. If he waited till level 3, he would see that the Hurt spell, I believe Hurt and Heal both came at 3, which means a lot of firepower and some survivability, even though the MPs aren't super high.
Yeah, absolutely. And interestingly, Jay Coper now at level 3, the only one to have made it that far. So that copper sword definitely paying off there, as Archfield has to use a few torches to get it done and is picking up level 3 now. And Coper doing a little exploration, meets a blue slime in a forest to the east of Tantagel and finds a dead end.
Okay, yeah, and he takes that death real quick. That's good exploration. You just, go a little ways, you see it's a dead end, die, go back to the castle. There's not the amount of money they need for anything right now isn't within their range. But it looks like he's going back into the treasury. Is he looking for another set of wings, maybe? I'm trying to remember what else was there, or maybe just the herb.
There was wings, there was the herbs, and the dragon scale. So yeah, I'm not sure what he could be after. I guess the extra set of wings and the one more herb. Maybe some stuff to sell?
Maybe. He's using another key to go down through here. I don't think
maybe he's setting up a gold grind in the mountain.
That could be the case. It's quite possible. There is something down there. He does have outside. If he's able to snake through the various enemies, that could pay off.
And with that hurt spell, he'll be able to take on things like those metal scorpions that he's seen in there. Droll Magi with its hurt more, maybe not. But yeah, I actually like this play. He kind of has what he needs to take care of at least the low and middle tier.
Unfortunately, he had not seen the hurt more on the metal scorpion, and that's going to not pay off very well for him.
Back to start we go, but all the doors are open. We'll see if he decides to go back down inside.
Right, meanwhile, Archfield was able to get level 4. It looked like we got a decent strength boost, a big agility boost. That was the big part of that level. No hit points or magic, though.
Yeah, and so we've got Tristal grinding up in the mountains, fighting these warlocks and things. Jay Coper making a second attempt at the mountain cave. And, yeah, looks like Archfield has now picked up level 5. I thought I saw a level 5 there.
Yep, we do have level 5. Again, I didn't see what that got exactly. I do see... now he's trying to run from the Metal Scorpion, not bothering with the hurt. I think he's definitely doing some sort of grind down here because he's trying to restrain himself from using magic, and Metal Scorpions are one-shottable. And we see the Stones of Sunlight in the first check on the Mountain Cave.
Excellent. So that's we've got two of our three key items. Well, we'll call it one and a half. The silver harp still does need to be traded in for the staff of rain. Our runners need three key items to get the rainbow drop to enter Charlotte Castle, that being the staff of rain, Erdrick's token, and the stones of sunlight. So we've seen, again, like one and a half of those. But the Axe Knight prevents Jay Coper from going any. We'll see if he goes back in, and he's not having any of that. We're going to go outside and get some more experience.
Yeah, the mountain cave wound up being, what did we see? We saw Axe Knights, we saw Droll Magi with Hurtmore, and we saw Metal Scorpions with Hurtmore. Not really a pleasant zone to be in for very long.
Yeah, I don't think so. So that does cost Jay Coper a little bit of experience, or has to play a little bit of catch-up to get to kind of the same level where Tristal and Archfield are. At this point in the game, it's not a huge disadvantage. But if it happens to be that, like, that big boom hurt more spell comes, or some huge strength boost or something like that, that allows the other runners to kind of capitalize on the mid-tier levels faster, it could play into it.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Tristal's been fighting some Druins, which is an interesting fight because they have both Heal More and Weak Breath. He was able to kind of navigate through that to still take down one. That is kind of an ugly enemy that otherwise not the ideal enemy to fight early on, but it's something that's good experience, and you hate when you lose that option.
Meanwhile, Archfield passes by a Sparkover bridge, and then we have I really like that one-tile lake that's right in the corner of where that Star Wyvern is. And there is a Hurtmore at level 6. Archfield not able to take out the Star Wyvern with it, but that blows up what he can kill there. And at this point, there's a lot of meat that's on the menu, and we are probably going to see Archfield's experience start to skyrocket. And he's going straight down into the basement to see what's inside the mountain.
Well, I can't remember if he was the one that got killed by got the Hurtmore from the Droll Magi originally, but he might be looking for some payback. Just fighting those alone is a great enemy right now with that Hurtmore spell. The Axe Knights, even on top of that, if he can one-shot them, are wonderful.
Absolutely. Tristal MTG hot on his tail also picks up level 6. Looks like level 6 also came with quite the beefy 24 hit point bonus as well.
Yeah, that extra survivability down here is going to be huge. Even we don't know what's on the second floor enemy-wise. There's a different zone, but Axe Knight will get him another level immediately. It's wonderful.
Absolutely. Archfield picks up his Stones of Sunlight. I did see some equipment pick up on Tristal's screen, but I didn't quite catch what it was. I did see a copper sword, but I think there might have been some armor as well.
The only armor that was there that he could have bought, I think, was the clothes. I don't know if he did that or not.
I think he already had the clothes, so maybe I misread. And just like that, Droll Magi down, Archfield Monk picking up level 7 and was very lackluster. I think it was a 0-1-1-6.
Archfield, remembering he had those torches, decides to use one. Still almost goes the wrong way, but he's mowing down the enemies down here right now. This is actually a very good grind zone. Might stick around until they're all done. Warlocks are another good enemy to fight right now. He could do that without Hurtmore if he wanted to.
Absolutely, and I did see 2 fairy water pickups. I didn't catch the first chest on the basement floor, but I did catch those 2 fairy waters up top. And the final chest, Archfield making his way there. He can get past these monsters. We've got a Magiwyvern guarding it.
Well, that's another fun enemy to have with Hurtmore. Very killable. Always a one-shot.
Absolutely. So that's boom, more experience, and Erdrick's armor. So huge armor at the bottom of the mountain.
Now, Archfield has been well rewarded for this dive. And I wonder if he'll stick around for a little bit or if he'll just keep going. With Hurtmore and Erdrick's armor, sitting around and grinding might not be the most appealing thing because you can go quite a distance.
Absolutely. I would probably just go until I run out of MP, then maybe try to take a death, or it might be hard to die at this point. But go refresh that magic pool, and there's level 8. So it looks like Archfield is going to try to get out of here and probably either fill up by dying or fill up by the old man at the south side of the castle.
Yeah, level 8 was huge for stats too. I think it was double-digit strength and 20-some MP. Be very useful with all that hurt more.
Meanwhile, Jay Coper found the staff trade-in cave, so he'll turn in his silver harp and pick up the Staff of Rain. It's always nice to get that piece of homework done and out of the way. I always hate it when I find the Rainbow Drop Cave, but I haven't found the Staff Cave.
Yeah, it works best when everything just shows up at the same time.
Or at least in order. And there's another cave on Jay Coper's screen. And a town. And just in time, he's in the red. Let's see if he can get away from this magician. Yeah.
He took a chance attacking on that. That seemed a little risky, but I mean, he knows where the stuff is. It's unlikely that anything in those two areas will be game-breaking, that he's going to be short not getting it right now.
Absolutely. And Archfield Monk did stop by the store in Cole. I'm not sure if maybe he picked up... Yeah, he picked up a hand axe there. So has a little bit more attack power, has all the defense, all the healing. So Archfield definitely has a big advantage here, having made it all the way to the bottom, picked up all the experience on the way down there, as well as that armor. We've got Tristal now taking down Wolf Lords and Wolf Lords, and just basically making use of that Hurtmore spell.
Yeah, Wolf Lord's another good enemy. You see Wolf Lords, Druin Lords, Droll Magi, Wyverns, Knights, Rogue Scorpions, Magi Wyverns, all great stuff to find that you should be able to one-shot.
And it looks like Jay Coper now taking another attempt at level 6, so probably going to pick up all of that equipment as well, having, now that he has that Hurtmore, he'll be able to survive through, burn down the monsters. There wasn't anything that wasn't single Hurtmoreable in this mountain cave.
Yeah, and getting through the first floor, that was the most difficult part. The second floor had some decent enemies, but there's no Axe Knights that could ambush you and almost kill you in one go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, while Jay Coper is in the basement, the other two are out and about trying to explore a little bit. Tristal, unfortunately, just got run blocked by a stone run and sent back. Archfield's finding another Axe Knight, still a wonderful enemy to find here. Puts him right on the doorstep of level 9.
Yeah, absolutely. Axe Knights, looks like he didn't go down on that first Hurtmore, but the extra 8 attack, or 8 points from the attack was able to take it down, and that's where the hand axe is definitely playing in. With just the copper sword, he probably wouldn't be able to do, more than 1 or 2 damage to that Axe Knight. So, good use of the equipment and just kind of managing it so that he doesn't have to burn all his Hurtmores, doing 2 of them on it. And Archfield picking up that Staff of Rain.
As you said before, always good to get that out of the way as soon as possible. Don't have to worry about finding that again later, and wasn't really going to use the harp in this sort of seed anyway.
You know me and harp strats. I'm always sad when I see a heart go unplayed.
Armor Knight here is a tricky enemy. He might be able to... he got, I wouldn't say lucky. Well, he got lucky to run away. But he could have done a 2-shot on it if he tried. Meanwhile, Jay Coper is doing the gold grind in the basement.
Yeah, very good. And, he was trying to set that up earlier. I wonder, and I don't recall what was in the shop, but I'm guessing there was a silver shield, and he's keeping going. So I'm hoping there was maybe a flame sword or a magic armor there. I don't think Jay Coper knows about Erdrick's armor down here yet, but he is definitely grinding pretty much all. Well, we'll see where he stops.
It would be unfortunate if he decided to leave before finishing this out because of the gold, but he might also be going double to, just in case something catches him here.
And Archfield Monk did find Erdrick's tablet. I just barely missed what was in the chest there.
It was Erdrick's sword.
Oh my! So all of Erdrick's equipment, Archfield Monk, really doesn't need much equipment. Looks like Jay Coper going all the way, or yeah. So Jay Coper got a full gold grind there. Archfield's picked up the sword and is herbing up in Garenham, which he's found.
And Jay Coper's picked up his share of the armor, getting out of there correct, right, as soon as possible, and probably be taking a trip to Cole here in just a moment.
Yeah, I see him going north. Maybe he wants to pick up some keys first. Yep. Grab some keys. Make sure we don't accidentally run out of those.
I'd have to think he was pretty low. Like, I think he was actually out and bought one before he went down.
And it looks like the token was in Garenham, which that's everything. They just need to find the jerk, and they are in Grind and Go.
Yeah, our search spots in the overworld. I mean, we haven't seen a cursed belt, but all it could be now is the death necklace and the flute.
And so that's pretty big if other folks go a different direction. Like Archfield knows that he has everything. There's no need to even bother diving the grave at all. Which is, a few minutes or several minutes, depending on how bad the grave is. So that's pretty big. It's just a matter of finding the jerk and finding a good grind.
Right, and I do not believe anybody has full information. No, I guess Archfield does. That's right. He was the one that found the token. So he is, 100% to go. Just has to find that tablet cave for the sword. And then he's completely caught up with everybody else. But here we go, level 9 with 28 power. Wow. Speaking of Erdrick's sword, there's almost a full one right there.
Yeah, he's got an Erdrick sword in one hand and a flame sword fist in the other with that level up. So this puts us in an interesting situation. Now, Jay Coper is the only one that's done the full gold grind for the Silver Shield, and with that agility build, he's basically playing to his strength, right? That gives him the most likelihood in the late game of repelling all of those monsters heading down to Dragonlord. We'll see if our other runners, because they do have the knowledge of that gold chest down there in the mountain, if any of them decide to go ahead and do a late gold grind for it. It could be interesting just to see how that plays out. Of course, it is several minutes, so it's like, do you really want to do that, or do we just try to find ourselves a large shield and go with that?
Yeah, I guess there must not have been anything in Cole that was worthwhile. I thought there was, but he's going full on out, just trying to find a town to turn all this stuff in. And I mean, the shield will be nice, but otherwise, Archfield's pretty much cleared everything else. He finds a large shield, he's done checking shops.
Yeah, for sure. And I thought that there was stuff in Cole. I just hadn't seen what was in the shop. But seeing Jay Coper do that full grind kind of made me just assume that. And Archfield is checking the shop here at Breckenary. I think he did get a large shield there.
Yep, so he is, again, no more shops, and that's itself a bit of an advantage. You don't have to bother thinking about gold or checking stuff. As long as you don't run out of keys, you're in good shape. And buying some fairy water as well, just to fill out the inventory.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you don't have to worry about, really anything. Just stock up on that fairy waters, get out into the world, find a grind. I don't think we've seen the swamp. We haven't seen Hawksness, so we haven't seen like a grind tile. But there's been plenty of stuff to just blast those Hurtmores off as he walks around looking for the jerk. And of course, Sharlock. You got to find Sharlock. There's no beating the game without that.
Absolutely. But again, just looking at his stats, it might not take too many more levels. And we never know when we're going to get a whole bunch of empty eye levels right on top of each other. And we still need heal more, which could possibly come as late as level 16. But this has been a huge rush right now. It looks like Archfield has just found Hawksness.
And so into Hawksness he goes. He's going to check out, he's going to make his way there. He meets a blue dragon, but he's going to find his way, and an armored knight. So there is definitely some nasties just in the I don't know if overworld's the right word, but the non-spike tile part of Hawksness. And he's going to go ahead and take down this armored knight.
All right. Meanwhile, Jake Hopper has found Grinham and is able to get the token pickup and sees the free cave there in the basement.
And level 10 comes off of that Armor Knight for Archfield. He meets another blue dragon. He's just seen all the monsters on the way to this spike. And the spike tile is an Axe Knight, the best grind you could ask for. So we've got this Axe Knight right here. I don't recall, was there, I guess Breckenary wasn't too far away to fill up. So this is Archfield, at least for what's on our screen. It looks like it's Archfield all the way.
Yeah, again, as a reminder to our viewers, this is not the only part of the race. These are 3 of the 14 racers, but Archfield seems like he's been doing just about everything right now, and finding the important things and sitting here and grinding. You can get another... Oh, Axe Knights with sleep. That's not amazing, but Axe Knights with hurt, kind of not that big of a deal after all.
Yeah, the sleep is an annoyance when they only have hurt. Of course, if they decide not to use that hurt spell and they leave you asleep for a while, it's still pretty bad. But you know, I want to say maybe 75% of the time you kill them first turn on the hurt more, as long as they don't back attack you. So it should still be, I mean, I would still stick around here at least until all my MP is gone. Of course, he does still have to find that Jerk Cave and that Sharlock, but you know, grind while the grinding's good, right?
Yeah, except sometimes the sleep turns bad, I guess, and fell asleep for 3 rounds. The Axe Knight decided to attack all 3 rounds, and that was not enough.
Yep, and so if they decide to go back to the Axe Knight, then, you know, Stop Spell, certainly the strat to use, as it looks like Jake Hopper is now going to meet our Axe Knight. He did not see all of the other monsters that Archfield did on the way to it, and takes his out right quick.
Yeah, he does not have Erdrick's armor, but he does have magic armor, so I would say it's close, although it's really hard to say close with Erdrick's armor. It's that important.
See, I thought Jake Hopper picked up Erdrick's armor. Did he not pick it up in the mountain?
Oh, you're right, he did. Let's see.
But I see magic on the track, so maybe he did pick up the magic.
No, he definitely got Erdrick's armor. I would hope that he didn't sell it. That would be an interesting story. It doesn't look like he's taking damage on the swamp, though.
All right, so it looks like Archfield back out on the exploration. Tristal is, I think, in the mountain cave now, so we'll hopefully be picking up his Erdrick's armor soon as well. I think he's in the mountain.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, so Jake Hopper is basically caught up to Archfield, almost an experience, but in the exploration that he did. And with the silver shield, might be enough to kind of compensate for that. Well, Archfield is fighting some more Axe Knights. I didn't see where he went in, though.
Yeah, and looking at Jake Hopper's stats there, at level 9, he's already, you know, 82 defense points, which is just amazing. That's repelling all kinds of monsters.
And Archfield hits 11, and I believe we had another decent magic increase. I can't remember. I think, but it's in like the 80s or the 90s now. So really, it looks like HP and a little bit of attack, and we're basically Sharlock ready.
Yeah, of course, except for the bit of homework and the bit of heal more. So I'm trying to see where is Archfield right now. This must be the swamp cave. Maybe looking for a different grind, something that doesn't have a sleep, or
yeah,
maybe setting up a gold. I'm not sure.
I think he went in there, fought a little bit, and when he saw the stats, decided to kind of break off, because this could be 1 level away. That's how close the stats look right now. But then again, we are still waiting on heal more, which might be our biggest restriction. Jake Hopper, meanwhile, is going back to Hawksness. Looks like he's found the grind he wants and is going to keep doing it. Archfield finds the Jerk Cave. That is perfect. Full completion of all of that. All he needs now is to find Sharlock, which I don't think any of our runners have found yet, correct?
We have not. Sharlock, of course, the largest land feature in the game, and we have not seen it just yet. We've seen just about everything else.
Right, and now, Jake Hooper takes a bad hit from the Axe Knight. Again, got slept and did not work out well for him. But here at the 30-minute mark, just kind of going over some of the stuff we found already. We found the harp in the treasury. The stones were in the mountain cave, which is underneath Tantagel. So was Erdrick's armor. The tablet cave had Word, and the token was in Grinham. Now, we see Archfield's already got the raindrop, so he is all but Sharlock ready. And the levels have been amazing. This has been one of the jettiest seeds I've ever seen.
Yeah, I especially in this tournament, this is certainly the fast that I have laid eyes on. Jay Coper, the only one to have preemptively set up a gold grind when diving into the mountain cave. So the gold grind wasn't in the treasury proper, but the mountain cave was the basement of Tantagel, so was able to get that silver shield, whereas the other runners did not set that up and probably will not go for one later.
I think Tristel's doing something along those lines now. It has a bunch of gold again. I didn't see if they met like a bad end here in Mountain Cave, but they're back in there doing the gold grind once more.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's always hard to see when they don't pop up that. There's red dragons down there. I don't think we saw one of those before.
Okay, that must have done it then, because I was pretty sure that I saw get got by one of them. So I guess count the other runners very lucky that they managed to dodge that.
And Red Dragon says, no, go home. Try again maybe if you want to. But that knocks Tristel out of Silver Shield money as well.
And say, is he gonna keep going after this? I mean, it's a bit rough, but he also didn't get Erdrick's armor, I think, on any of these, which is probably the biggest part of it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was done.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, he hasn't picked up Erdrick's armor, and you know that did knock him out of kind of. I'm guessing he was looking for maybe Silver Shield and a flame sword, so he might be going back to finish to get his grind back. But yeah, you never want to leave that one orphan chest if at all possible. And of course, we know in hindsight that it's super important that he picks up that Erdrick's armor, but he doesn't quite know that yet. So I would be going back, and it looks like he is.
And meanwhile, just Archfield with the big strength and everything, got a decent amount of hit points at level 12. With the stats that he has, he could beat the Dragon Lord right now. It's a little bit iffy on the hit points, but the big problem is there is no Healmore. There's also no Sharlock currently. Those are what we're really missing to get this seed to get towards that end game.
Yeah, absolutely. At 135 attack power, he's looking at what, 13? Yeah, 13 swings on average. Of course, Dragon Lord math, you basically take your attack power, subtract 100 from that, then divide it by 2, that's your maximum swing. Divide it by 2 again, that's your minimum swing. And then the Dragon Lord has between 150 and 165 hit points. So you can figure out like the average number of swings you need. And you want to have Healmores at a minimum 2 fewer than the number of swings, kind of assuming that you can get an opening double and a closing double. But without that Healmore, of course, none of that math really matters. They're going to have to keep grinding.
So Jake Hooper has found the grave. I think Archfield might have found it already, but he's going in. Is he missing anything, or is he looking for... I'm not exactly sure what he'd be looking for in here.
I mean, he may be just looking for stuff to grind on, and or the fighter's ring or the death necklace, just in case those things come into play. If they do end up having to grind quite a ways, perhaps the hit points will be at a point to where the death necklace is viable, even if not necessary, and could speed up that Dragon Lord fight.
Yeah, I think he was just checking those first 3 chests. Now, Archfield has found Remolder, which does have the 2-for-1 down there, but I'm not even sure Archfield will check it. Considering where things are, it's really just a little bit more on the stats, maybe, and Healmore. That's really all he needs. But more than anything, it's just Sharlock. And maybe Sharlock is near here?
Yeah, I think the key thing is just go get your hit point boost, which is what he did. He stocked up at the end and continue exploring. Like for especially for Archfield, who has completed all of the homework, I think exploration is the priority. Find that Charlock, figure out where it is, and once you know where it is, find the grind that's closest to there to get to your go level.
Now, Jake Hoper had an unfortunate meeting with a blue dragon. We see Tristal in Cantlin. Has anyone been in Cantlin yet? I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah, I don't recall seeing Cantlin either. I'm interested in how Tristal got there, but that is definitely a different direction than our others or have gone. And if it happens that the Cantlin direction is where Charlock is, that means Archfield needs to get back that way in order to get the knowledge that he needs. And so Tristal's going to talk to this old man. And it looks like there are coordinates. Or maybe not. Yeah, there are coordinates. He's writing them down.
Yeah, those are really, really easy to get ones, but we know that's either the death necklace or the flute. Neither looks super useful in the seed.
We do have Charlock on Archfield Monk's screen, but it didn't look like it was accessible from where he was. So he knows the general direction, but he has to come at it from a different way.
Right. I think, I don't know if leveling right now or if just finding it would be the most important thing. If you have a pretty good idea where it is, you could always kind of loop back to it when you're ready, which we know he's not quite there. We see Jake Coper going back to Hawksness to continue that grind, and Tristal, we'll see if he pops up a return. No, he's going to continue exploring as well.
Yeah, I think in Jake Coper's, or rather Archfield's case, finding the access point is going to be pretty important because, again, he generally knows where it is, but had to pop a return right away because there didn't seem to be any good way to get there. It might end up having to go through the swamp cave to actually access it, because it was like in the top right corner of his screen, and there was water all around it.
I had thought that Archfield was actually still in the swamp area, but we see level 13 has heal more, so now those are go stats, not super comfortable ones, but you can beat the Dragon Lord with that.
Yeah, absolutely. At 13 swings, and at 97 MP, that's going to be 12 heal mores. That's definitely doable, assuming you're able to conserve all of the resources on the way through Charlock.
And that'll be our question: how bad is Charlock? If it's something that our runners can get through without losing any heal mores, then it's whoever gets there first.
On a seed that's as jetty as this, I gotta be looking over at that race time room, and there are no duns yet, so it's still anybody's race.
Yeah, and it's difficult to keep track of what's going on in the other races aside from looking at that. But I would say all of our runners are still well in contention for those top 6 spots. Tristal Diving Grave, that one's a little scary because we know nothing's down there, but we'll just see how long he ends up being in that area, or if he's able to find maybe the, whatever isn't on the coordinates.
Yes, I mean, if it turns out to be a death necklace, that could potentially maybe speed up a dragon, but if level 13 is the go level, really the death necklace isn't going to help at all. So yeah, there's nothing that's going to be super beneficial down here, except for maybe knowledge and the experience we gain along the way.
Right. It looks like what was in that 4th chest? I missed that.
It said empty, so I think that was an herb.
Okay.
So Jake Coper grinding the Axe Knight just picks up level 13, which we know to be go for a strength HP build, but the hit points might be a little low for Coper to want to go with his particular build. At only 92 hit points, that Dragon Lord becomes a lot more dangerous.
Yeah, when he does get there, though, he can repel over half of the enemies right now that he could come across, which will definitely save him some time depending on what's down there.
Yeah, absolutely. That agility plus the silver shield that nobody else got makes Jay Coper, just like you said, he's repelling half of the possible monsters that are in Sharlock, which means less fights, which means a faster dive, which could potentially make him, if one person entered 2 or 3 minutes before him, he could easily pass them along the way.
The worst case scenario would be if there's no hit point gain on 14. Then there's a real separation between him and everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. But for Coper, I think definitely another level is necessary.
All right, so at this point, we're kind of wondering what Archfield is doing. He's still looking for Sharlock. Is he not been able to triangulate where that is based off of what he's seen? We see Tristal has found it.
Yeah, Tristal has found it. So you can see there, Archfield saw it from the the southwest corner. So he hasn't seen this entrance, which you see was kind of a big loop around through that swamp there. So I think that is what Archfield is looking for, is the actual axis. You see how you have to come from way up to the north there.
Oh yeah, bridges with swamp and narrow pathways. I can see how that would be missed.
So Tristal MTG now has a vital piece of information that, I don't know, I would consider Archfield kind of the leader. He might not have the XP lead at this point, but he's definitely got the homework done.
Yeah, both him and Jay Coper are kind of in the same position right now, with the exception of the hit points that Jay Coper's slightly short on. But again, we do not know what Sharlock is like, and that can cause, everyone's plans to just go out the window.
Absolutely. I'm trying to think of Sharlock monsters. I mean, we've seen these Axe Knights that no sleep. The Armored Knights, I don't think had anything of note. From what we saw, the Red Dragon, I think it was just biting, right?
Yeah, and now we see Tristal. Looks like he's going to do the coordinates count, or attempt to. Yeah, there's no problem with that count at all. He's going to find this really quick, and we'll see what we got. And it's the flute. So, GG's, thank you, Coordinates Guy, for that, I suppose.
I mean, I suppose if golems are giving you trouble, but I guess with the agility where everybody is, they should be able to run from golems, no problem. Of course, agility is only a number. And speaking of golems, Tristal meets one just as soon as he finds the flute.
And Archfield found Sharlock, so he's good to go. Is he got the? Does he need? No, he is ready right now. He's diving. This is probably the run here to try to finish the seed out.
That was an excellent job of exploring and conserving resources. So Archfield in the driver's seat for at least this 3 setup here. He meets an Armored Knight around the bend, gets away from it.
Just to build a little bit more excitement, from what I can tell, he is the only person diving to win right now out of all of the racers.
That is amazing. I don't have the other streams up, but I've definitely got the race room, and there has not been a dot done yet. And also, I mean, he can potentially get this done. I don't know, sub 50 might be a stretch, but sub 52, it's possible.
Yes, I've had the other streams up. I'm trying not to comment about them because I want everyone to focus on this race. But we were blessed with what was going to be a very competitive race in the first place with the racers we had if you just took these 3.
Yeah, I mean, all 3 of our racers are vets. They've been doing this for years. They know the game. They know it very well. So as you can see, we've seen them bonking through, torchless and all of that. To me, that's a surefire way to know that you've got a vet pro player going, being able to do these caves without a torch on.
All right, and so far I haven't seen any reds from Archfield, which is definitely advantageous. The Red Dragon and the Armored Knight are so much more difficult to run from than any other enemy in Sharlock. Like, basically twice as difficult as anyone else. So not seeing them is a huge advantage because it's one less thing to stop you, and you can get stuck for a while on those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, oftentimes when you do run into them, it's better to fight them than to run from them because more often than not, you'll spend fewer rounds attacking than you will running away. But at 82 agility, even the runs are probably pretty safe. Maybe 2 or 3. Though this game does love its coin flips.
Yep. And now we get to see a red dragon. So I believe that was Zone 2. Zone 2 is not friendly. And another... Oh, he's close. He's going to burn the heal more. Has to here.
And depending on how this fight goes, that could put things... Okay, so he's used 1 heal more. He's 1 heal more down, which makes things a little more dicey for our Dragon Lord fight. It looks like he's going to go ahead and fight through this Armored Knight. Oh, no, popping the heal more. Oh, those were runs, I'm sorry.
All right, he's able to get away from that one. He's still... I think this is still a decent odds with 10 heal mores. Any more, it's going to get really ugly.
Yeah, 136, you're kind of on the bubble. It depends on how you roll, 12 or 13 on average, as well as how the Dragon Lord rolls, right? Like if it's a low hit point Dragon Lord, something closer to the 150, 151, that can play into it as well.
Right. And let's see. Okay, I was wondering if maybe he would even consider checking the chest for like a fighter's ring, but considering how many chests you haven't checked, that would be a pretty big risk.
Absolutely. And still, Archfield, the only one to be in Charlock for our runners on screen. He's going to try to get away from this Axe Knight. He's in the back stretch of the basement.
Just walking through the heart-shaped box there.
Cue the Nirvana song.
Squeezing through the S's, and now into a blue dragon grind. Not the worst thing you could see here, but Hurtmore is a little annoying.
It's annoying. I'm not sure if it's worse than its bite. Yeah, it looks like it is a little worse than its bite. He takes it down in 3 swings. Have to use an herb. He's got a couple to spare. He's a wizard. And we've got our first Dragon Lord talk. Let's see if Archfield Monk hits B and gets declared a fool. He does.
All right. This is it. This is for the win, and this is for getting to move on to play in our brackets.
Absolutely. I'm a little blurry on the numbers, so if you want to call those out, that would be great, or we can just kind of play along.
I'll do my best from here. I'm actually watching the stream itself. I can't really see anything on our version, unfortunately.
Looks like he does get the opening swing. No back attack.
All right, so we see 17 so far using that heal more. 17's a pretty good roll for what numbers we have.
Yeah, absolutely.
And 15, that makes 32. All right, and 11, a little bit low. That puts us at 43.
Still looking really good.
Another 11, it's a little unfortunate. That's 54. And the 14 there puts us at 68. This feels like it might be slightly behind. 16 does, what we're at, 84, I believe.
So about 80 to go. 5 heal mores.
And 16, I think that's actually 106. I think I forgot my count at some point. So I might just be completely off now. Sorry, it's difficult to tell. It's even looking at this differently, Archfield's version is lagging just a little bit, so I'm missing some numbers.
So we'll just have to be as excited as everybody else as we see whether the last swing does it or not. Here we go. We got 1 heal more left.
Oh, that 16 was big. He gets 2 hits, and according to Joyzel, he's at 139. So he's got 2 hits with minimum rolls, might be able to do this. That's 156, and this last attack, that does it. GG's to Archfield.
Get those GGs out. Archfield Monk most likely going to finish first place in this pool of 14 runners to secure a spot in the bracket rounds. So excellent run. Just everything went Archfield this time. That Dragon Lord, we've got our stats up there. Looks like 157 hit points on him. And yeah, really well run. And we'll see if we can't get him in for a commentary. And we do have an official SRL time of 50 minutes and 1 second of all jet seeds. So yeah, really well done.
Believe that is our fastest seed of the tournament, correct?
I think it might be. I haven't been paying attention too much to the stats of that, but it's certainly the fast one that I've seen so far through, and I've seen most of them. In terms of our other runners that are on screen, Jay Coper has picked up his rainbow drop, and I think is exploring around looking for that Charlock entrance. I think he's gotten to a level where he's comfortable and is just looking for the castle itself. Tristal MTG probably needs another level to go, and a little bit more exploration. Actually, no, Tristal has actually seen the Charlock, but has not. I don't think he's seen the Jerk Cave just yet.
And to put some added pressure on our runners right now, Naminva has finished in second with a 50-53. And from what I can tell, we have 3 other people on the Dragon Lord right now.
Oh, wow. So super close. So that means Naminva finished just, 52 seconds, less than a minute behind Archfield Monk. And if there's others that are in the Dragon Lord, we'll probably start seeing those .duns coming in as well. Jay Coper has found Charlock, is using his rainbow drop. One of my favorite graphics in the game when all of the rivers turn rainbow color. We've got Chromaticalism finishing 51 minutes and 55 seconds.
It's GG to him. That's he's a newer runner like me. We both started at the same time, so that's exciting to see. We both ended up getting in here.
Jay Coper's made it to the passage. I believe has repel up. He did not stock up on fairy water, so he will have to cast magic to continue to repel. Meets a golem. Gets away from it, no problem.
Yeah, that extra fairy water, or with all that repel power he has, he should be able to kind of skate through Charlock, but blue dragons aren't helping anything.
Yeah, blue dragons, golems, he's not going to repel, but we know, for example, there were wizards, that Archfield saw several of those kind of slowing him down on the bottom floor. Looks like we've got another finisher, 4th place. Marashu has finished 53 minutes and 4 seconds.
That was the winner of our last chance race. Marashu went from the 1-4, won that what was that, best of 4 people we had in that race, was able to clear out that, and then comes in and wins today too. That's a great comeback from that initial start there in the bracket, or in the Swiss rounds.
Absolutely, like the true underdog story right there. So definitely cool to see that happen. As Jay Coper makes his way through the diamond room.
Well, Zarnax wants Marashu to win out. I think there's a chance that those two play each other. Is that right? And Zarnax might get the chance to help with it.
Looks like EMP, any amount of money, has finished 5th place, 53 minutes and 54 seconds. So we've got just one more. The next finish will be the last one to move up to the bracket rounds. So Jay Coper, making his way through the rectangle, has made it to the basement floor of Charlock. Blue Dragon, slowing him down just a bit. He needs a golem. He's He's meeting all the things that he's not repelling, because that's obviously what you'll need.
All right, yep, he's still going. He's definitely had a better Sharlock walk than what I've seen from Archfield, but that doesn't mean that he's still not getting stuck every once in a while. And he's still got an uphill battle here. We're really close with some other runners too. So this hopefully for him, he's able to clear this out real quick and get to that Dragon Lord.
Yep, he's got to hope to be able to take down this blue dragon, and then really just hope there's not anybody else fighting the Dragon Lord already right now. He's got the strength to do it. In fact, he's got a little bit more strength because he had to take an extra level for the agility, assuming nobody else is at a strength agility build. He's declared a fool.
Yeah, in fact, I think he might be the only person in the race who had that, just kind of glancing over at everybody else. So, but here he goes into the Dragon Lord, and able to just dispatch Dragon Lord 1 very quickly.
Yeah, very good there. And he's taking on that Dragon Lord.
All right, looks like 13 for the first attack, then lining up the heal more.
I think I saw an 11 in there as well.
Oh, my apology. I think I missed the first one. I'm going to leave this up to our tracker if he wants to count.
Yeah, very good. So exciting to see this. I'm watching the race room with bated breath. And oh, we do have Lord of the Synth. As Mahdi Games has finished 6th place at 56 minutes, 16 seconds. Lord of the Synth finishing just 6 seconds later at 56:22. So Jay Coper still doing a valiant effort, but at this point, all of the top 6 slots have been filled.
But we still have a race to go, and even no matter that you're the Dragon Lord, you want to finish this up. And Jay Coper should be in great position to do it with those extra resources from 15, and the fact that he didn't lose anything on the way down, should be well in control of this.
Yeah, absolutely. We certainly want to check this race out. And it looks like Tristal MTG is also in Sharlock Castle. So, I mean, just super, super close all the way around. And again, this play-in race was a really, I mean, the whole tournament has been a really deep field. And the play, as exemplified by the fact that the play-in race has such excellent runners in it. So, everybody's done a great job so far. And, yeah, I'm excited to see how the rest of it plays out.
Yeah, and I just realized with Asmati finishing, every single person I raced in this tournament has made the bracket stage.
So you might see some rematches there. And it looks like, yeah, we've got Jay Coper has talked to King Lorik. And we see a finish time of 57 minutes and 45 seconds.
GG's to Jay Coper. That is good for 8th place. We still have 6 total runners to go. No one has given up yet. They're all trying to finish this. Nobody wants to give out just because they're not going to make it. They want to do this seed right, and this race right.
Oh no, it looks like Tristal MTG met a red dragon that was not having his Sharlock drive and sent him back to Tantagel Castle. So Tristal's going to have to make his way back in and do another dive. And that's just super unfortunate. He was, I think, almost there. I'm pretty sure he'd made it to the 3rd zone at least. But the red D was not having any of it.
Oh, and that's our big element of RNG when you get to Sharlock. Oh, those hard to run from enemies.
Exactly. In fact, I think Tristal MTG met like all the red dragons in all the wrong places. I think he met 2 of them in the, in front of the Erdrick's armor in the mountain cave. Whereas I think the other 2 runners on screen, I don't think ever saw the red dragons in the mountain cave. So they were just kind of the fun police were on the hunt for Tristal MTG. I'm not sure what felony they committed, but the police were definitely after him tonight. They had a warrant and everything.
Well, hey, Archfield is with us. I don't know if he's ready to speak about his victory today. Hey, Archfield, GG's. Or I see. Well, I don't know. He might be joining us. If you hear us and you want to join in, just go ahead. Looks like he's trying to talk, but it's not coming through yet.
Yeah, Archfield, I see you lighting up green, but I don't hear you out. Maybe check your mic settings.
How about now?
Now we can hear you. Great job. You finished first place in this play-in. What were your thoughts on the seed?
Thank you. It was not the kind of seed I hoped to see. I can tell you that much. Because it just felt like from 30 minutes on, it was just like, okay, I've got to go faster. And then I saw Charlock from the backside first and had no idea how to get there. And because I'd kind of given up mapping, and once I realized it was second to single continent. So it was really intense the whole way. It was just crazy.
Yeah, you would think with this many people in the race, just being that quick of a seed, and honestly, from what I could tell, you were well in the lead for a large portion of the race. A lot of things you did were well timed, like when you decided to go in the mountain cave, and your exploration up to Charlock was extremely good. But just, what you said going through your mind there is not being as long as you did. How are you feeling as far as the race went?
I mean, for the first 25 minutes or so, I felt like the opening was kind of poor, actually. I rolled my gold chest kind of low. I full bought keys before I went outside, which when I saw Cole was right there, I kind of regretted. Didn't buy torches right away with the gold that I did have, which I think is what I should have done immediately there. And then when I finally did cave and go buy torches, then the next level meant that torches were obsolete. So I was, for the first 10 minutes or so, I was pretty unhappy with the way I was playing it. When I saw Hurtmore pop up, I was even a little bit more distressed. So the fact that the exploration from there went pretty well was a help, and I knew once I got my hands on a large shield, I wasn't going back to gold grind anything, and I'd be able to skip grave because I found everything else before I even got there, so...
Yeah, it seemed once your exploration went up, everything was kind of turning up Archfield. It felt like you were picking up all the right things in all the right places. So once that started rolling, did you start feeling like, this is going well, or?
Yeah, I mean, through the mid game, it felt pretty good. But then when, like I said, when I was kind of, I don't know when that was, even probably around 35-minute mark or so, when I saw Charlock, and I went, oh, thank goodness I found Charlock. I can maybe even think about poking in right now, just to pick up another level. And then if there's a town nearby, I can dive. But then realizing that it was blocked off by water on both sides from the side I'd seen it from, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't actually know how to get there. So the rest of the race was just sheer panic the whole way. It was not it was not a pleasant experience until I finally found the correct direction to go.
Yeah, I can imagine just all of the stuff that came so early, and what probably seemed really easy for you was just, somebody else had to get this earlier, that sort of thing. I think you were the second person to dive Charlock. Another one of our runners from a different race actually died to the Dragon Lord before you got there. So if you were thinking, like, how did I manage to win this? It wasn't. There was some bad luck on some other people's sides too that kind of impacted that. But really, I think a lot of it was just you didn't take any real unnecessary deaths there throughout most of the race. We're able to just kind of keep going.
Yeah, I mean, from that perspective, I felt like I was pretty smooth. I got lucky at one point. I'd somewhere in the overworld, I think I was somewhat far from home. I got an armored knight and missed my first Hurtmore and did not have a chance to kill it, so I had to try to run, and I managed to get away and heal. So, there's kinds of little things here and there that you think about later that you just go, okay, well, that was pretty fortunate to have happen when it did, and that said, it really was just super intense the entire way, and the Charlock dive itself was hanging by a thread at multiple points. where it's like, okay, I have to try to run here to conserve the resources and heal more after, and I know I could get killed on this swing, but I don't really think I have a choice.
Yeah, there was a couple of times when you met, I think it was some red dragons, where you had to pop a heal more, and like if you weren't able to get away and had to pop another heal more, it probably would have meant another dive, because I think you were down to the very last swing on your Dragon Lord fight.
Yeah, it was, and I entered the deal. If I'd been back attacked, it was over, and I was going to go to Hurtmoors at that point. I just like right away, and try to land one, because I left the deal one fight with 49 HP, and I didn't get back attacked. I'm like, all right, here we go. I have to risky swing already, although I was basically committed going on the level that I did to just, swinging on anything like 40, probably 47 or better. Where it was.
And just from a separate commentary note, we did see Tristal MTG check the treasury of Sharlock, and it looks like he never found the tablet cave and does not have Erdrick's sword. So he's actually gone down here with a broadsword and is hoping that the judges table has the Erdrick sword. He did pick up the death necklace and the fighter's ring down in that treasury, but we did not catch that, and so just putting that info out there for us. So we are going to see what's on the judges table if anybody wants to put their bets down for what that is.
But in the meantime, just to kind of catch up on where we are, we did see Monsieur Slime finished in 9th, Elmore St. James finished in 10th, Ryguy has finished 11th, and in the meantime, Centroid has forfeited. Centroid, I believe, died to DL2 twice, so I think he had just had enough. But I believe with us right now is also Jay Coper. GG's.
Hey, thanks, GG. Congrats, Archfield.
Thank you, GG.
Yeah, that went really well for me for the most part. I lost out on qualifying by 90 seconds. It's pretty easy to see some points where 90 seconds could have been made up. I'm guessing that most people finished on maybe 14 or something. I don't even know. I just was like, this seems close, but a little too risky. And I had the agility build, so my HP was a little low, but obviously my Dragon Lord 2 was ridiculously free on 15, so I'm not sure if taking the last level was a mistake. It would have been really rough on 14, I'm sure, so I don't know. But, maybe I should have tried harder to stay alive at the beginning, and then I would have found the town and found the Erdrick sword before I gold grinded, and same thing in the mountain cave. I don't regret it, but it was certainly annoying going to the last chest and finding the armor after grinding up all the money for everything. But, lots of things certainly went right. My exploration was good. So until I just needed Sharlock after half an hour or whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say your attempt was very interesting compared to Archfield's. The go level was 13 on a strength build. They had about 99 hit points and the same strength that you did, and the magic was in the right place. It was iffy, obviously, if you had to burn a few more heal mores on the way down, but it definitely, but that was kind of the go, at least where Archfield went. But it was interesting watching yours. You were the only one to leave Tantagel Castle, at least on our screens, right? To leave Tantagel Castle, and save the key. You returned out. So you were able to save your key, which meant you spent less money, buying keys. You're able to get that copper sword earlier. Your couple dives into the mountain cave unfortunately put you behind, but you were like the first one to level 3. You were the first one to that hurt spell, and it just turned out that didn't quite help us as much in the mountain cave as it would have. And then your second time into there when those things took you, or when you did your full grind and then you found the armor, unfortunately, that just kind of is what it is. But it seemed like you were just a few steps behind Archfield all the way. But then the difference in the builds, I think, was a key part of it because you had to take those 2 extra levels to get there, maybe just one. But then there was that exploration of finding Charlock as well.
Yeah, it seems like the the best build in the tournament races I've watched has been agility, like 75-80% of the time, something like that. And then you hurt yourself a lot if you're wrong, but you give yourself a little advantage if you're right. So yeah, just playing the odds, I guess. And if you have to take another level, I guess that's what you do. In this case, I guess it was 2. Maybe I should have looked harder at 14. That could have made the difference, I suppose, but it would have been really dicey for sure, because I had like 94 HP, I think, at 14. So, yeah, I don't know. Unfortunate that it worked out that way, but it was a interesting jet seed, and it was fun, I guess.
Yeah, not your traditional jet, right? Usually you think of a jet seed, it starts with a hurt more at 1 or 2, but this was one that just kind of it started off on the runway and then they fired the thrusters once it was in the air. So yeah, definitely an interesting seed.
Yeah, we really didn't even have any strength for quite a while, but just having keys and just all of the quest items and everything being pretty much absolutely free was just too nice. Like the only real exploration difficulty was finding Charlock. Had that been almost anywhere else on the map, it certainly would have been a lot easier to find, I'm sure. It would have surprised me if anyone found Charlock fairly early. That was quite a trick around the top left corner there.
Absolutely, and it looks like we are joined by Tristal MTG as well. Tristal, great job. Looks like we had a little bit of trouble there at the end. Let us know your thoughts on the seed, and then we'll talk a little bit about it in more detail after we get your initial reaction.
Yeah, that was quite a jet seed. I'm sure it's kind of all been said at this point by all the other competitors. Just usually those sorts of seeds are really in my wheelhouse, but I mean, Archfield had finished before I even had heal more, and I knew I was just toast. Like everybody had to have played this so great because I really didn't feel like I got unlucky. I think I just got totally outplayed here. So congrats to everybody who finished. But yeah, this seemed like everything was going pretty nice. A nice fast jet seed, and then suddenly I was 15 minutes behind.
Yeah, it looked like, I think the 2 key things in your run, you took a little bit longer to make it down to the bottom of the mountain to pick up your Erdrick's armor. And correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe you missed the tablet cave. Did you miss the tablet cave?
So I caught a little bit of what Jacob was saying earlier. I did actually find Charlock way before any of the stuff in that area. I did eventually find Tablet, but I didn't bother exploring it. I felt like I was so far ahead. I had, I think, Rainbow Drop at that point, so it felt like it was just unnecessary. I thought I was going to have a little bit of time to just grind in Swamp Cave or wherever I could find to get enough attack power, and then suddenly people were finishing left and right, and I was like, oh my god, the sword must be in Charlock, I gotta get heal more as soon as possible and dive it, and it was already too late by the time I went for it. I did have a lot of trouble getting the armor. I died to red dragons at least twice in Mountain Cave. Like one of them was like 2 steps away from the armor. But once I did find the armor, I still felt like I had to have gotten there fairly quickly. But I guess not. I wasted a lot of time gold grinding multiple times there to get Silver Shield. And the stats were just so in your favor the whole way that doing all that over and over again really lost me too much time. If the stats were a little more even, if we were going at a typical like level 15, 16, I think that could have given me a little bit more of an advantage having Silver Shield and all that, but it turns out we really didn't need it apparently.
Yeah, in terms of the runners that we had on screen today, you had the worst mountain cave luck in terms of meeting red dragons. I don't think the other two saw a red dragon down there. And you had, like, after doing gold grinds, which is the worst time to meet them, let alone 2 steps in front of the armor. The other thing was, yeah, that Erdrick's tablet cave was where the sword was. And we saw you check all of the pyramid as well as the judges' table. I was actually excited to see what was on the judges' table. But yeah, that sword was down there in that tablet cave, and I think that's probably why we saw the final FF there. But ultimately, you still ran a great race, and it's a very deep field of runners that you were playing against. So great job. It was very very entertaining to watch.
Oh, thank you, and thanks to everybody who helps make all this possible. They're doing it all for all the fans, so I appreciate everything all you do.
Absolutely. Do we have any other final comments? I'm trying to see where we're going. If where this bracket announcement's going to be at.
The bracket's actually over on Randomania right now. In fact, they're starting the random drawing already.
Well, then, I suppose if there's no other final comments, let's make sure that everybody gives some special love to our runners today. Tristal, MTG, we've got Jacob, Archfield Monk. Make sure that you hit up their streams, give them a follow. Our tracker today, making sure that all of those stats and everything was good, was NYC Guy, aka Juizel, as well as our restreamer Zarnax42. And we're going to go ahead and raid on over there so that we can see those brackets going off. So everybody follow that raid, shoot those emotes off, let everybody know that you're there.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks guys for putting this whole show together. It was a lot of fun.
You betcha. Great job, everybody.